your life. So I don't want to speak for too long because there are several thousand of you that have to get your degree today and go. But on occasions like this, I think those of us who are a bit older, those of us who have seen a bit of life, it's customary for us to make a few remarks both about the past and about the future. The work of the Christian missionaries in general and the American missionaries in particular has greatly enhanced the education, health and medical progress of what is now Tamil Nadu, but actually across all of southern India. I've had occasion on many functions to say individually how many doctors, how many professors and how many to benefit from the liberalization reforms of the 1990s. If you look at Tamil Nadu relative to the rest of India, between independence and 1990, we were not always a leader. When we had a closed economy, when we had a highly socialist model, when there wasn't as much private enterprise, for various reasons we were among the bottom half of the state through the 1960s, 70s. It was only because we had built the human capital, because we had the focus on education, that when liberalization came, when global capital came, when opportunities abroad arose for employment, for higher studies, that Tamil Nadu was able to accelerate its growth to become one of the biggest economies, one of the best states in human development, one of the best states in social integration anywhere in this country. In that sense, I say that the foundations for this were laid going back decades, if not centuries, through the educational institutions founded in those days largely by the Christian missionaries, but also through the social justice movement, which ensured compulsory education and inclusion of all communities into the education system. Within that context, American College stands tall because of the length of its tenure and the many hundreds of thousands of graduates that have benefited from the education of this institution, and its continuous and dynamic expansion to cover so many different aspects that were not envisioned at the beginning of this college. I had some brief note of some statistics written for me. I always speak extempore, so I don't have any speech written, but I get some statistics. I want to point out that the statistics given to me by my team said there were only 30 undergraduate and 16 postgraduate programs. But the principal here said there are 47 undergraduate and 23 postgraduate programs. Shows you how rapidly the college is enhancing, even relative to publicly, information published on the web. There are also many research centers, which is the next advancement for MPhil, for PhD. But I'm also very glad that American College houses, among other things, an autonomous center, the Study Center for Indian Literature in English and Translation, which is unique in my mind anywhere in this country and promotes literary research and translation studies. These are opportunities that very few students in the world get, that you have benefited from over the last few years. In many ways, today is the ending, or this degree is the ending of your stay at home, go to school, go to college life. And now many of you will enter the workforce. Some of you will go on to higher education. Many of you may be already a bit far from home. Many more of you who will end up much further from home after today. So in that sense, it's also a new beginning, as all such events are. And as you walk away, you must remember the 2 or 3 pieces of advice the principal has very properly and very thoughtfully given you. One, that learning is lifelong. Just because you got 1 degree or 2 degrees, or in my case 4 degrees, doesn't mean that we're done learning. I've often said that I am a lifelong learner. In fact, I'd go so far as to say a lifelong student. And that every day if I don't learn something new, I feel it's not been a productive day. Every day. So I encourage you to follow his advice and keep with that pursuit of additional knowledge, of additional awareness, of additional understanding. The world is a complex place and changing all the time, and you should keep up with it. The second, he said, you're all going to be ambassadors of this institution, and you should act in a way that brings repute to this institution. In fact, at the heart of education is not just about professionalism or getting a job or being able to improve your economic circumstances. At the heart of education is the creation of thoughtful, compassionate, learned, cultured people that make society better, that make the world a better place by being all those things: thoughtful, compassionate, cultured. And particularly institutions with the great tradition that American College has, that ought to be the primary thing that you take away from here, that you have become more erudite, more compassionate, more thoughtful, more cultured when you leave here than when you came. Of course, the alumni networks are very important. Again, in my statistics, I'm reminded of many famous alumni of this college, people I know personally, for instance, like the late, brilliantly talented artist and writer Shri Manohar Devdas, my constituent who signed my MLA application form, Padma Shri Professor Solomon Papaya, the founder and visionary HCL founder Thiru Shiv Nadar, also my cabinet colleague, I think more than one, but certainly Mr. Chakrabani. So you have examples of people who have passed through these halls, benefited from this education, and gone on to do almost any field of life, excellence and high achievement, and that should be your mark. Having said that, one last piece of advice for you. Every life is different. Everybody starts at a different place. Everybody's journey is unique. We say in our political stand, whenever we see the government of India trying to homogenize us, we say that the character of India is unity in diversity. We want diversity. We want to be different. We want to be together when we're different. I will extend that down to every one of you individually. Each of you is unique. You come from unique circumstances. You will experience a unique path in life. And you must set your goals, your ambitions, your ideas of right, wrong, what is good, based on your individual development and your individual progress in life. Ultimately, a life well lived can be measured many ways, but in my view, the ultimate measure of a life well lived is when you can afford the space, the time, the effort to think about benefiting others beyond yourself or your immediate family that you may be responsible for. And you can start thinking about how your community, your society, your state, your country, the world can be a better place. So I encourage you, though you are young and you have a long career ahead of you, each one of you, to keep that in mind, that even as your path is unique and individual, at the end, the definition of success is not how rich you are, not how many degrees you have, not what records you have established, but whether you're a kind, gentle person who adds value to your circle, however narrow or broad that circle may be. With these words, I congratulate all of you, your parents, your teachers who put in all the effort to get you to this place. I wish you all bright futures, and I thank you for inviting me to share this day with you. Thank you very much.
I.M. Bondi, V. Adithanar, K. Palanivel, K. Chellapandi, L. Dinesh Karthikeyan, G. Iswaran, G. Guru Muniselva,